Good morning, my friends, and happy Sunday. Happy Sunday morning to all of you. We're getting autumnal this week. Today it's gingerbread inside the coffee, so this is thoroughly, well, it's almost getting the wind up to Christmas. We are, what is it now? 12 weeks till Christmas? So, time to get into the holiday spirit, right? Today is a celebration because we've hit 100 subscribers on YouTube and we're all but about to hit 100 followers on Twitch. And so this stream and next stream, so tomorrow's stream on Monday, first 5 chatters, I'm going to be giving a gifted sub. And we've got Phil C in the chat. So Phil C, you are going to be my first gifted sub. There we go. And that should work. Boom. All right, excellent. Good that everyone is... Good that that's working. Great. We have got Justy303 in the chat, and I have just discovered this morning that if someone is already subbed to you, you can't then gift them an additional sub, which is slightly surprising to me, actually, because I'd have thought it would just add an extra month onto the end. But Justy has very generously offered to give his gifted sub to the next chatter. You're very welcome, Phil. Thank you for popping in and saying hello. Hi there, Meredith, in the chat as well. Pops in briefly to say good morning. You were up all night, so time for bed. Fair enough, fair enough. Thank you for dropping in, Meredith. So, yes, let me know the next time your sub is up for renewal, and I'll give you a gifted sub as well. Today, we're playing Riven, episode 4. Okay, we've just unlocked this door, but before we go into this door, I think there's possibly a free thing we probably need to do over there, right? Because this pipe that's coming up here that we don't know where it's going to go, I want to make sure that we are sending gas down this pipe. Because this building, I don't think we're going to need that building anymore, right? Because I think the only purpose of that building is to be an obstacle to progress. Do you know what I mean? So we've unlocked that shortcut. So let's get around here. Oh, and you know what? It is actually pointing in the correct direction already anyway. But yeah, I think it's highly likely that we're needing the gas to go in that direction. Okay, here we go. Phil C says, normally I work from home on Sunday, but need to get hands-on equipment today. Arrived at the office, 2-hour commute. Oof, that is not the vibe. Not the vibe. Okay. Is it literally just going to be one handle? Just one thing to pull? Ah, I thought this was going to be a path that we were unlocking here, but okay. Okay, we're dropping something down. It kind of looks like a basket of food or something, but... Is this openable? It is openable. Uh-huh. One piece of food at a time. Wait right, no, obviously we should send it down with the thing open so that whatever's in there to go and eat the food's going to get caught in there. Right? Because it's like a mouse trap. Well, the food's still in there. Yeah, okay. Well, let's send it down with it open and see what we catch. So, first day of the week, filled with soldiers going to bases, no cell service to work on laptop. Oh, nightmare. Formerly from Philly, living overseas. Yeah, so, well, as you know, Phil, I'm based in the UK rather than... I think you said you were in the Middle East, right? Oh, interesting, right. We haven't caught anything. I could have sworn that felt like a good shout. But wait a minute. Right. What have we got here? We've got a fan that we can look at. Oh wow, we're like standing on top of something. That's the gas pipe. So there's a grate, which is sort of covering the fan, but not quite. It's got to be about moving the food onto the thing, right? I mean, I wonder where that basket goes. I'm not sure it goes anywhere that we're able to have got to, right? Because it's inside the mountain. But this walkway is definitely something that we want to gain access to. We can trek over this path still. Don't know if there are any side paths around the place. Or maybe we just need to leave it down there long enough to actually catch something. No. What are we missing then? What are we missing? We've got a pressure plate. We've got bait literally sat on the pressure plate. Yeah, we've got bait. There's a little bait pot here, and we grab it and we put it on. And the pressure plate's still working. So we send it down with the thing open, but nothing's grabbing it. Obviously there's no point sending it down closed, right? there's no bidirectionality to that lever. It's just you press it once and it will go down, you press it again and it will come up. The only thing I can think of is that you have to leave it a certain amount of time for the trap to fire. Again, I'm really not sure what this part is for, except possibly if we turn the gas off here, the fan might stop running. So maybe putting the gas this way is a red herring, and that actually you don't want the gas to be going. So let's just send it back this way, because this is a little pointless wood chipper. We can also go in and re-investigate that building again as well if we feel like we're really stuck with it. Other avenues that we need to investigate, we still need to find more animals to hear the animal noises. No, the fan's still going. The fan's still going. In fact, the only thing the gas is going to stop doing is it's going to, yeah, because the pipe goes to this lever here. So no, you certainly do need the gas going to this room. And the fan is not powered by the gas, but the lever is. Thanks to the wonders of modern technology, we are able to correct that mistake very quickly. Okay. Let's check out this room further. And then we'll check out the trap again. And if the trap still hasn't sprung, what we're going to do is we're going to set the trap again, and then we're actually going to move island. Because I'm not 100% convinced the trigger isn't going to be something like, have you changed island and then come back? You know? The door is closed behind us. Yeah, I don't see any other thing to look at except for going down here. Okay, yeah, we can look round at the... Okay, yeah, and then it is literally just a pipe. And our only directional turns are 180 degree turns. Yeah, okay, right. Yeah, I don't see a hidden path in that. Okay, let's check the trap again. Hey, there's something in here. Oh. Okay, so it's a red frog that goes rah, 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 rah. Well, looking at our notebook, I think we can be pretty confident then that that is indeed a frog rather than a cricket. And it is a red frog, if that is important. So we made a pretty good guess with what animal that was, so that's great. All that work for one clue, for one animal sound, which we already kind of knew, because it sounds like a frog. And is that everything from here? This seems like a really, really intricate bit of island for the owner. I mean, there must be a way to get to that walkway, right? Must be something to do with turning this fan off, actually. And then we're going to crawl through that duct. Yeah, okay, okay. Yeah, the only reason you'd be able to climb up on there is turning the power off somehow. So how are we going to do that? How are we turning Gehn's power off? Yeah, you can't move it so that the gas literally goes back in on itself. Okay. Oh, what's happened? Why is the game doing that? Okay, you can't move it so that it goes back in on itself. The power must be controlled remotely then, right? Because I don't think it's anything to do with these, because that's gas, that's gas. You know, actually, like, this thing... What did that even do? Because that's the big old exhaust pipe, right? That's this pipe here. Yeah, I'm not convinced that's actually related to this fan. Like, it's probably just coincidence that the ducts are somewhat similar in size, and indeed, it's still going, so that's all fine, that's all fine. Right, we need to redouble our efforts to find the fifth clue. Like, that's something we definitely need to do. Because at the moment, the thing that's really going to hamper us solving this puzzle is even if we can make a decent guess... Oh no, we went the wrong way. No, I can't go up that way. At the moment, even if we were to make a decent guess as to what all the other animals sound like, the fact is we're literally missing an animal sound entirely. So before we go back to the previous island, let's have a think. I don't think there's anything we want to do else on this island. Turning off the power to that fan. How would you do that? Most of the puzzles so far have been confined to a single island. Well, except the sounds puzzle, actually, because we've just got a clue on this island for a puzzle in another island. Is the power for the fan really going to be on another island? That seems a little bit... it seems a touch far-fetched, doesn't it? But I really don't see anywhere that we've been on this island that would control that, but I've not really seen very much that looks like a power switchboard anyway, to be honest. Okay. Doing a set of underground railway tracks, it only sort of just occurs to me, right, that like underwater railway tracks, the only reason that that would be a practical thing to go and do, or I like the fact that you've got to have like a little cable pulley thing to now pull it up the hill. is to prevent, presumably, the local residents being able to get from island to island, I would presume. Because, I mean, at the end of this minecart, when it's running, is a wood chipper. So it's definitely not the kind of minecart you would just want to, like, ride apropos of nothing, right? You want to have, like, a fairly decent level of confidence that you're not going to get wood chipped by doing it. So, we're fairly convinced that somewhere on this island is a clue. The other thing that I need to do at some point is we have seen a third animal, like a little beetle thing, in one of our recordings. I believe it was episode 2. We need to go review that recording and remind us. There's a pulley there. Do you see that? There's literally a... That's a handle. That's not a shadow, because look, it's casting a shadow. But what is that a handle for? Am I supposed to get down there somehow? No, don't go that way. Hang on, it feels like I was stood directly in front of it before, and now I'm really finding it hard to get directly in front of it. There it is. This is like a pixel hunting thing. At some point it's going to make me go to the left and make me go to the right, but... The weird thing is though, that looks like it should be attached to a chain, but I don't see a chain coming off it at all. There's also something on that trunk, unless that's just the pith of the trunk. Which I suppose would kind of make sense, because if the axe is inside that trunk, it's probably the one that's been felled most recently. Come on, there's got to be a fifth animal sound around here somewhere. Let me know in the comments below, when you played this game for the first time, what order did you find the 5 animal sounds in? Because the first one, I feel like the first one over by the train station is probably the one that almost everyone would have found first. And I imagine that a lot of people would have missed the hidden path one out there. But the sandbox you kind of have to get to, right? I don't think you can miss the sandbox, because I think it's a required path that you have to walk along. And, where was the other one? Oh, over by the What are they called? Sunners? The ones that I've been calling the death penguins. The villagers really do not like book travellers. I think someone in the YouTube comment section called them sunners at some point. Palm Trees 44, first time chatter, and our next gifted sub. Congratulations! We are having a sub giveaway to celebrate our 100 YouTube subscribers. So I believe that is the third gifted sub for today. Great to see you, Phil C. Have a great day. Sorry about the 2-hour commute. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend, though. Well, what remains of it, at least, anyway. Palm Trees 44, you've played Riven, you don't want to give too many spoilers. No, yeah, please don't give too many spoilers. It's always a tricky balance with a puzzle game, right? Because you want to walk that fine line between being able to talk and comment and, you know, give your insights on things and chat, but you don't want to give anything away, right? It's a wait. Something just went whoop, whoop. What is that going whoop whoop? Hang on. Maybe I'm kind of wildly forgetting something, because the whale sound comes from the Nessie rock. I don't think that's a whoop whoop sound. I think that's a different sound anyway, right? I might have to go and remind myself of the sounds again. Be right back. Okay. The red frog cricket noise, that's over by the train. Oh, hang on, wait. We'll go for the Nessies. We'll go for the Sunners first. Okay, so now they're gone. Work our way around here. No, that's a lot more like a whale. That's not really a whoop whoop. That's more a... That's more like the sound of a dying giraffe, you know? Those buttons got to do something, right? The problem is, right, like, sound puzzles, audible puzzles, they're very difficult to write notes on. Yeah, that's definitely the red frog that we recently saw. And in the sandbox, it's a buzzing fly, but... Well, okay, probably action with me. Oh, JR Plays Games resubscribed at Tier 1 for 3 months now. Thank you, sir. Hey, look, it's a sub-anniversary. It's a sub-anniversary. You managed to get in there before I hit you with the gifted sub, because every commenter, first 5 commenters, are getting gifted subs today. But I tell you what, remind me next time you're up for a sub-anniversary. I'll gift you a sub. We're celebrating hitting 100 YouTube subscribers and all but 100 Twitch followers as well. I mean, according to my stats here, I'm at 96. Yeah, absolutely. You double it and give it to the next person. Go for it. So we've got 2 more to give away today. Sandbox. I want to listen to the sandbox. I think the sandbox is not a terribly interesting sound, potential, because I have a feeling that it is literally just the sound of a fly buzzing. In my notes I've just written fly buzzing, which is... Oh, thank you, sir. Oh, that's very nice. Okay. The sandbox. I don't think this is the way to the sandbox, is it? No, the sandbox is over there, which requires us to go the other path. Hang on, how do we get to the sandbox from here? We can't use the submarine. Submarine's out of reach. Can't use that path. Hang on, wait. Oh, yes. Right. We need to go up here, down this path here. They're back. I tell you what, right, those sunners really love that rock, don't they? Right, and then we go along this path. And as much as that looks like it should be a hidden passage, I don't think it is. Right, and then this way. Right. Yeah, that's just like a fly buzzing or a beetle buzzing or something like that. I tell you what has disappeared. The water from this pit has disappeared. So that water must be something relevant, right? So we've got a pipe that we can't actually look at. So we've got a pipe. Oh! My tiny submarine has come back. Who dropped my tiny submarine up there? Well, I wonder if there's something different to go and look at there then. Because... Okay, so I kind of understand that you probably can't be actually locked out of the tiny submarine because you might have missed the classroom area. Like, it's entirely possible for you to have taken this this route upwards without having hit up the classroom area. But I'm slightly surprised that the tiny sub has come back. And that might indicate that something has changed. But this pipe, can we see where that pipe goes? It just kind of goes out the side of here. Yeah, it's struggling to see any pipe. TBH. Yeah, clearly we need to do something. Either with this pipe or this pipe. Well, this pipe is where the water is coming out of, right? Do we need to do something to block this pipe up so that we can get a full bowl of water here? Maybe. It's like a big old bird bath, isn't it? So maybe you like fill it with water, and then a bird's going to come down, and the bird's going to make a sound that is going to be... Put a frog on the pipe. We did catch a frog earlier. Yeah, unfortunately, no inventory, right? So how are you gonna carry a frog if you can't hold anything? My theory is... I don't know, I haven't actually played Riven. Yeah, it's like, put a frog on the pipe or something. I don't know, not played this game before. My going theory is that the main protagonist is actually a lady, and the entirety of the Myst series is a very subtle dig at women's clothing not having pockets. This is my headcanon from now on. Having said that, though, the lack of inventory, I think, is actually a genius aspect of Cyan games. And there are so few point-and-click adventure games that take the bold decision to not have an inventory, right? In fact, Cyan games are the only ones I've come across, which is really surprising, given that Myst is... Sorry, I just smacked my microphone in excitement there. Which is really surprising, given that Myst is 30 years old, that no other game has done this. But when you add inventory items and you add very loose interpretation of keys that you're trying to match up with very loose interpretations of locks, you effectively just get a permutation combination problem, right? And it stops being interesting insights that you have to work through and starts becoming a bit of a, I'm going to try every combination of thing X with every keyhole Y, you know? The original game was done with QuickTime, so it didn't really have the internal storage to have an inventory. More like technological limitation, but it works. I didn't know that. I assumed it was a design decision. You know? Because at the moment on the YouTube channel, I'm playing through Labyrinth of Time, which is literally from the same year as Myst, 1993. And the two games couldn't be more different, right, in terms of their philosophy. Myst, you could almost lift and shift to the modern day and it still works, right? There is nothing design-wise in that game where you're like, oh, that's a dodgy decision, right? Labyrinth of Time is like an artifact of 1993, right? You're really going into the past when you play that game because, like, the game manual itself warns you to save the game often because it is possible to softlock yourself. It is possible to do puzzles in an order in which it then becomes impossible to complete the game, which from a design point of view nowadays would be like a red line. Like, you do not allow players to do that nowadays. And yeah, I mean, Myst is simple, but it's Myst is simple but effective, you know. But that philosophy has carried through into Riven and still into their games today. I've not played Firmament yet, but we'll get round to that at some point. Maybe after this game, maybe after Myst 3, who knows. But Abduction was very much the same philosophy. It was very much, yeah, we're gonna not have an inventory. It's all codes and clues. It's not inventory items. feels a little bit like the bait that I should put something on top of this, though, you know? It's when you see things like this, though, your brain is almost hardwired to think, oh, I need to go and find a thing to put in here, you know? So even though we've never had any usable items before, it's still where your mind goes every time you see half of these puzzles. It feels like this has to be something, though, right? Otherwise, why would it be here? I don't know. Joke's on us, though, because we still can't really see the pipe coming out of the side of the sandbox. There's presumably a pipe which comes out here, which we need to block up somehow. I mean, I say presumably without any kind of reason to believe that that would be the case. Yeah, and none of this is going to do anything whilst it's not in the water. So let's drop the submarine down. We can have a bit of a further explore. There's also this rock here as well, which is also clearly something, but... Okay. Let's wander back round and these paths have to come out at some point as well. Right, to give us access to the rest of this village. So actually, do you know what? The third animal sound might be in an... the fifth animal sound might be in an area that we can't access yet. That's an entirely plausible possibility. What is this thing? What is that thing? That looks like a thing as well, doesn't it? Okay, my best thinking at the moment is I want to re-explore with the submarine because I want to rule out that there are any places that we've not been in that submarine. I think that's the next thing I want to look at. Okay, so running. And there's the sub. Great. Well, hang on a second. kind of weirdly looked like that there's something under the water there, didn't it? Maybe that's just my eyes playing tricks on me, because you can't stop the submarine mid-spin anyway. Okay, so this is the direction that the sub was originally pointing. We've got a red 0 to the left of us, so every fork we're going to go back and try every reverse fork. And eventually we will either get back to where we started. Well, we will eventually get back to where we started because we know that this track is a loop. But we just want to check that we're not missing any locations. Now I don't think we are, because the tower that had all of the stuff on it specifically had like 5 locations that you could yeah, it specifically had like 5 locations. So the first thing to always check is that you can't go forward, which you can't. Do you know what as well, actually? It would be really handy for us to draw this out as a map as well, anyway. So let's draw this out as a map. So we are going to start here. And the start point is where we drop the submarine in. It's gonna go, and there is a stop point and a path which comes back here. And this is where we... Alright, okay. Actually, no, we'll make stop point squares, and we'll make places that you can go up circles, right? So this is the, what I'm going to call the telescope. Great. Okay, so this stop point has only 1 track coming off it. Oh, really struggling. Really struggling to get up that bank, isn't it? Okay, and we've ended up at a bubble. Okay, and that is where the... I don't know, what would we call it? Gehn's fishing rod. What is that? Is that a giant fish? Is that a giant hungry fish, do you think? That didn't sound like the whale that we're listening out for, though. From the animal puzzle. No, that doesn't sound the same. But interestingly enough, right, now someone in the comments, YouTube comments, because before I heard there was like what sounded like the submarine door closing, and someone in the YouTube comments says, well actually no, that's like a fish looking for something to eat. So that's probably the sound of a disappointed fish. Okay, so that bubble we're going to call the Gehn's Fishery. Okay, onwards from here. Aha! So we've got a four-way split here. So this is going to go here, and we've got another box. So we've got one which comes back, and we've got two which come forward. Right, well let's... Oh, no, wrong way. Well, let's turn ourselves around. And check out this path to the right first. Okay, and we have another bubble. Right, and this is going to take us to this place up here, which has nothing in it except for these switches, which is fine. So we've got a bubble here, a bubble here. That's the track we've just come out of. So the place to the left, place to the right. There's the school, and I'm pretty sure that's where we started. Yeah? So that's where we started. That's the telescope. This is where we are now. That's the fishing point. That's the school. I think those are the 5 exits. So I'm not sure we are going to find anything that we've not explored yet. But I do want to be thorough. So this right here, this is the switches. Okay, and going forward from here does nothing, as we would expect. Okay. Now, I'm expecting the right path to sort of loop us round and the left path to be a dead end. So let's check out the left path first. So left path, climbing up, climbing up, climbing up. And what have we got here? It's another bubble. Oh, this has taken us to the school. Oh, well, maybe this path just links us back round to the start then. I'm not really expecting anything different in here, probably. Yeah. I tell you what is sort of notable, though. Well, come back to that in a second, but we've got some writing on this board over here, which is great. And we're obviously learning numbers. I have a little bit of a worry that what we have around the outside of this room appears to be an alphabet. Appears to be an alphabet. I mean, I've played Tunic, and I love translating the Tunic language. It took me bloody hours, but we could do it. But this does not look like an easy set of symbols to learn. How many symbols do we have? 1, 2, 3. No, I didn't mean you to go back. I just want to stand in place and turn around. Come on, help me out here, game. 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Those look very much the same as each other, though. 21, 22. So I doubt it's going to map directly to the Roman alphabet. Those look very similar to each other as well. I'm not sure how easy it's going to be able to discern these, if that is indeed part of the puzzle.
Terekoi danni. Kibayem revat, alroyem betik tavom, gabodona gayem.
It's kind of like Dora the Explorer, who's sort of waiting for a response, but yeah. So clearly, yeah. I think we've listened to this before, and I believe we concluded it was a recording before as well. So a quarter of this blackboard has been chipped off somewhere. So I wonder if that's I wonder if we're going to find that elsewhere. Okay. So, forward from here, or is this a dead end? No, that's just a dead end. So actually then, I think what we're going to end up with is, when we go back to the crossroads, turn around and go the right-hand path, we are just going to loop back round. And that's going to be all of the possible locations that the tiny submarine can go. Okay, so now we're checking out this right-hand path. And I'm pretty sure this is indeed where the sub got dropped down. It is, yes. Yes, it is, it is. So there's not actually very much to it, right? The weird one is kind of this telescope one, you know, which is off the track on its own and appears to do nothing except, like, be a parking spot for the submarine. Why, though, you know? Because this is where the submarine drops down, makes sense. Gehn's fishery you've got to go to because it's going to take you up. You've got the switches to enable you to get out of these bubbles anyway. And you've got the school, where you're going to learn some stuff. The odd one out is kind of this telescope location, you know? Because it doesn't really do anything except add a shortcut, which almost isn't even a shortcut, you know? It takes quite a while to get in and out of the submarine. It's kind of weird. Like this thing in the middle of the lake here, this has to do something, right? I don't know. Yeah, it's weird. I keep coming back to the switches, right? And the switches puzzle. And like, are we really saying that the solution to... Like, you see 5 switches on a wall. And the theme of 5, you know... does keep occurring again and again in this game, right? And the solution to those 5 switches on the wall is just flip them all upwards. It feels weird, doesn't it? It feels weird, like I've been underthinking those switches. Okay. I gotta have a think because I think I'm a touch stuck. So we know we need to find one more animal sound clue. Right? I think we're fairly clear on a few things that we need to try and find. So we know that 3 and 4 is going to be a frog, and it's going to be a sunner. Number 5 is some kind of whale. Number 2 is some kind of fly or a beetle or something. We don't know number 1. We haven't found it. So there's that. We know that there's a path in the upper village which hasn't been opened. We've got 2 houses which don't have their boards out, and when they get their boards out, we'll have more places that we can go there. We know that on the 3rd island we've got a fan, which when we stop the fan somehow, we're going to have a duct that we can crawl through. So that's that. There's an elevator on the 1st island that we don't know how to activate. There's a 5-digit code inside the frog statue, which we don't know what it is. We've got this thing, whatever that is. Maybe I should be writing some notes down about actually what our open threads are. Yeah, so we've got an elevator which is outside this door up here, which will get us onto an upper walkway. We've got a 5-digit code near that room on like that balloon thing to open a rusted hatch, which we don't know the code for. We've got a pipe in a sandbox which needs clogging to fill that up with water. I think that just about covers it. So we've got a lot of open threads, but we're a little bit sketchy on how to make progress on any of them right now. Yeah, I mean, the best thing I've got at the moment is to try and continue. Wolf ULV in the chat. Good morning. How is Riven coming along? It's going okay, but we're a bit stuck. We're a bit stuck. But thank you for coming along to the stream today. We are giving away free subs for everyone who comes and comments in the chat. So thank you very much for coming along today. We are celebrating our 100th YouTube subscriber by gifting some subs in today's stream and tomorrow's stream. So how is Riven coming along? Well, we've mapped out the underwater area, and we've convinced ourselves we've not missed anything there. I'm pretty convinced that this little telescope thing has to do something, but I'm not really sure what. The 5 switches at the top of one of the underwater sections, I'm wondering if I've underthought that. We've got a lot of things we need to do, but we're running short of ideas on how to do them. So we need to find the 5th animal noise. Okay, fine. There are a couple of planks in the upper village that need extending from the houses, which presumably we can only do that once we've gained the trust of the villagers somehow. There's a sandbox which we want to fill with water, so there's a pipe that needs blocking up somehow. There's a fan on the 3rd island, which when stopped will allow us access to a duct, but we don't know how to stop it. And there's a whole bunch of stuff on the 1st island that we do not really understand at all, including an elevator that can't take us anywhere. and a couple of 5-digit codes that we don't know the code to. So all in all, yeah, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff to think through, and we need to get a handle on where we're going to answer those questions. Okay. I don't want to hit up too much of a scattergun approach with this one. Let's go back to the first island and see if we get any inspiration on either this lift or this rusted hatch. These blue lights look very much like the blue buttons, actually. Oh, do you know what, actually? No. Before we go and do that, let's go and check out the frog statue again. Because we've only been up there once last time out. And... please do, says Justy. Yeah, we've only tried out the frog statue the once. It does look like there's a... yeah, there we go, right. There's a handle there. We did also see a weird handle by the woodcutter's axe as well, which perhaps warrants a little bit further investigation. These buttons, you know, who knows, right? Now we're going to take it real slow, right? We've only been in this area once before, so we may well have missed something important. I'm not expecting the answer to the... I'm not expecting the 5th clue to the animal puzzle to be up here, because this is very much a Gehn area, not a villager area. We can see the giant knife there, which indicates the hidden path, but the villagers clearly didn't put that giant knife there. But the knives do crop up here and there, don't they? That's the zeotrope, which opens this up for us. And, you know, there is a 5-digit code, which is going to be entered there. Oh, interestingly enough, this lookout is able to spot Gehn being up here, in fact. So Gehn's a little bit powerless to stop them, like, watching out for him, or maybe he doesn't care, you know? Yeah, obviously we can't really interact with anything. anything off in the distance. The lore in this game confused me a lot right up until that click when it all kinds of falls into place. Yeah, someone in the YouTube comment section pointed out to me that the you know, the giant chair with the lever that opens the thing is kind of mirroring the fishing game in the school room, and I'm like, oh man, that's dark. that's pretty out there. The clue for this hatch is not going to be up here. Yeah, Gehn's way of punishing people, yeah. Whilst he's sitting on a giant chair with like these levers, it's kind of like a real sort of it reminds me a lot, the aesthetic reminds me a lot of the Time Machine, you know, this kind of giant chair with these sort of big old levers on it. That would be H.G. Wells' The Time Machine, of course. The which, incidentally, is a totally... No, to call it an overrated book would not be correct, to be fair, because for its time, considering the time it was written, which was the Victorian era, perfectly fine book. But yeah, it's kind of a little bit a book of its day, let's say. The movie from the old 1960s, the 1960s movie, I really liked that. I found it really scary as a child as well. Particularly the bit where the Morlock dies and then he activates the time machine to go further into the future, I think, and you see the Morlock decay away. Yeah, that like proper traumatized me as a kid. Let's go back to the first island and see if inspiration strikes. But one thing we saw earlier on was this handle, which is clearly very much like here. And it's not, I don't think it's a trick of the light because it has a shadow right here. But I don't see a way to touch it because we can't really quite get close to it somehow. I don't know. Unless it's a, unless, as I said earlier, unless it's a pixel hunting job. It's interesting that when you have this screen when you look this way, and then you turn to the right, turn to the left, and now you're seeing it from a different angle. Yeah. That is unusual. It's got to be something, right? You don't stick a giant axe in a tree trunk and not have that be a thing. And what is it? Don't know. Somehow we can't... It feels like we can't get close enough to it. For some reason. I don't know. Okay. Day 180 of pressing the blue button until it does something. Okie dokie. Tiny train emotes in the chat. We're going back to island number 1 to see if anything happens. Go! I mean, we've had a really good run in the last 2 episodes, right? And it was pretty inevitable that one day we would have to end an episode stuck. I never enjoy ending an episode stuck. But we're around about 5 to 10 minutes away from ending this episode stuck. But let's have... Oh! We've got another button. Did you see that changed colour there, actually? It was like it wasn't activated and now it's been activated. So is there a certain number of these buttons around the place? Or maybe this button calls the train. Does this button call the train? Is this what we used to call the train right the way back in the first episode? In which case, why do you need one of these buttons inside the giant frog? Huh? Why do you need one of those buttons inside the giant frog if they call the train? That's weird. Don't lose that thought. Yeah, no, I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it. Eventually, these things are going to do something. Maybe we go into the... Maybe we're supposed to go into the frog and not press the blue button. Not that I know what that would even do. Okay. So we've got the gas flowing. Yeah, okay, right. The gas is what allows this to go up and down, but we need to open the hatch first. You know, one day we'll get lucky. It's weird because there isn't really like a sound when it resets at all. So, don't know. The fact that the hatch is so rusted as well. It's like, it looks like it's rusted shut almost. But like, yeah, there's rust here. But Is this supposed to spew water out or something? I mean, to be fair, it's kind of odd enough anyway that this island... Like, is the implication that this island is like a giant artificial island? Because you've got... And then the knife coming in, almost like creating a crack in the ground, which isn't really ground at all, but like a thin veneer of dirt over a massive metal island. Dunno. I'm gonna push this once and go and check out the hidden path once more. I want to check I haven't missed anything in that room. Oh, wait, no, that's not the door. Yeah, is there no way to open that from this side either? You just gotta... We're just perpetually crawling under the door forever. So hang on, wait, so where did that make the openings go? So it's not another one, is it? Because then that would make it... No, it must be a... It must be 2 more after this one, I think. Because I think this makes the 2 other openings talk to each other, right? Because we've got 1, 2, and then you've got another one which is there. I don't know. Let's double check. Not going to hurt to check, 'cause it literally takes like 10 seconds. It would take us longer to work it out. Oh, right. So this allows us to get into this path, but like via a different access way, essentially. I'm not sure that really gives us anything, unless the rotation of this room is some way important. Here, for example. But that looks exactly the same as how we have it in our notes. And it's not like this room has... Like, because there is a possibility, of course, that it's like, oh, well, you know, as that room rotates, this room also rotates, for example. Wouldn't be beyond the realms of possibility, but I don't think this has. But I'm kind of interested to check out some stuff, because this is a totally different way of entering this place. We've still got that bridge is still up, but we've set the pipe for it to do something. We've still got this, which is like... what even is it? This motif of 5 just being used in every single piece of engineering that they have is... It's a real kind of level of attention to detail, isn't it? So we've got this lift. This lift is not doing anything. We've got this over here, which we've set. So that bridge, when we can get to it, presumably could do something. I don't think we have anything on the sides in here. No. Okay, so it doesn't appear like anything has changed in this room. Okay. That could be a thing. Except, how do we now get out? Did that do anything for us from this side, though? Because that's still the same, and weirdly enough, it kind of looks lower now, doesn't it? But I mean, that's great and everything, but how would we make use of the fact that that is now higher? There must be a way to loop back round to where we were somehow. Like, this lift is the obvious candidate. So it makes me think there must be some way to activate it. We must be able to activate it somehow to get up there. Okay. I think we're going to have to think about this further next time. But okay, we've got a new switch. We've got a new switch we can play with. And to be fair, like, is it possible for us to, like, the obvious thing to rule out immediately, right, is, can we stand on it, rotate ourselves around this way, and activate it from here? The answer is no. Like, that would be the obvious thing to try and do, would be stand on the edge of the platform and reach in and pull the lever. But we can't do that. Rah! All right. And just as a quick check, right? There isn't a lever at this end of the bridge. No lever there. Fine. Okay. Whatever. We'll go with it. I'm afraid, however, my friends, we're out of time for today. You know, I never like to end these streams stuck, but it was going to happen eventually. We've had a couple of really great runs over the last 2 weeks. Managing to end the stream on a cliffhanger. This time we're going to be ending the stream with me having to have a real think about what we need to do next. And you know what? I'm also going to go back over the recording from episode 2, because we definitely saw like a beetle creature kind of thing at some point during that recording, which I'm pretty sure is the sound effect for the second sound. So I just kind of want to get a picture of that for our notes, so that we can so that we've got that clue locked in. If you are watching us on YouTube in the future, thank you very much for watching. I will see you guys next week. Bye bye. For those of us on Twitch right now, let's have a look and see who is live. Cozy is usually live, so let's go and give Cozy a